Um, Welcome to Canada Bangladesh Social Justice Action Research Alliance. On this platform, we talk about issues that impact social justice locally and globally. Today, we have with us Wafaa Aludaini, a Palestinian journalist and activist. Um, we will hear from Wafa about what life is like under Israeli occupation. But at the start of our conversation, I must tell you that it might happen that where Wi-Fi is, the electricity might be gone, or the power there can be a power failure in Gaza. So our conversation might stop abruptly. So we're just saying this to our audience and people. So Wafa, one of the things that we use these conversations for students around the world, who wants to understand the world critically, wants to understand human rights issues. Um, um, Not something that we don't get to understand from media, from books, from those places. So we will use this conversation for our students to learn about, the situation in Gaza, the situation in Palestine, so that this is not just a conversation, this is also an educational tool. So with that, Wafa, thank you very much and welcome to our conversation.
Yeah, thank you so much for hosting me, and thanks for giving me this opportunity to speak up for my people.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Wafa. The first question, sorry, go on. You wanted to say something?
No, this is fine. I thought, yeah, okay.
Okay. So the first question I have is that please tell us about yourself and how you got involved with journalism and how did you become an activist?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm Wafaa Aludaini. I'm a Palestinian journalist based here in the Gaza Strip. I report and write for different publications and outlets, or international publications and outlets. I lead a youth group, a group of young journalists and activists who report about the daily life and the Israeli violations against the Palestinian people. And also, I am an activist as well. Since 2013, I started in journalism and activism as well. Also, I'm a Palestinian refugee. My parents and grandparents were forced to flee their homes in 1948 in what is right now known as Israel. But this was like my grandparents and my parents' homes and towns. Yeah, this is just in a brief about me. Yeah.
Thank you, Wafa. You were talking about a group that you're part of that reports on daily lives of Palestine. Could you tell us more about it, that why it started, and how it operates?
Yeah. Actually, this group is called 16th October Media Group. Actually, this group is a group of young journalists and activists. Most of them are Palestinian students who their major in the university is English language, but we teach them the media skills and we enhance their language and their media skills in the same time in order to report and to write to the people outside Palestine, because we feel we really disappointed and frustrated at the same time from the people outside. I mean, outside Palestine, especially the people in the West, because they have the distorted image about the Palestinian people. They, like the distorted image that the Israeli propaganda tried to prevail in the Western community, and they try to prevail in the mainstream media. So we are trying our best. Actually, we are trying so hard in order to report exactly what is happening on the ground here in Palestine, to report exactly the reality here in Palestine, because we know that the mainstream media and the media outside they never report anything about Palestine, and whenever they report anything about Palestine, when there is bloodshed here in Gaza or even in Palestine, so they just report that there are like Palestinians fire rockets and this stuff. But in fact, there are so many human interest stories that should be told to the world outside Palestine. So we decided to form this group in 2012, and we started our activism, and then we tried to teach the students some of the media skills. And yeah, we now because we don't have that media, like CNN or BBC, so we just use the social media platforms. We use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and all the media platforms in order to report about the reality, in order to show the world exactly how the Palestinians survive under the brutality of the Israeli occupation, under the suppression, under the oppression that we subjected to it as Palestinians every single day. So that's why we started this group, and actually, and why we call it 16th October group. It's because in 2008, 2009, when the Israeli occupation they launched escalation or aggression on the people of Gaza, where thousands got killed and so many got displaced or become homeless. Become displaced as Israel destroyed like thousands of homes. So after that, the Goldstone report they condemned the Israeli crimes against the people of Gaza. But at that time, actually, this report or this Goldstone report, nobody talked about it. Nobody blamed Israel for what they did for the Palestinian people. So that's why we decided to tell the world. We decided to speak up for our people. That the Israeli occupation every single day they just violate the international law. They kill Palestinians. They massacre families for while they are in their homes, and nobody blame Israel for what they are doing. At the end, they just blame Palestinians for resisting the occupation, for defending themselves. So it's so important and it's so significant here for the Palestinian youth who could speak in English to exactly tell the world, to enlighten the world about what is happening here. So this is the main aim actually, and really we produced several video reports and we did several live coverage. But like the Facebook administration and the social media administrations actually they attack or they disable the Palestinian whenever they find any page talks about Palestinian narrative and tell the truth, they just disable and delete their accounts. So we got actually so many of our accounts deleted and disabled by the Facebook administration. But this actually do not make us stop from speaking this truth. We just, whenever they close an account, we just create another one, and we create another one, two, three, four, and more. So this is the main aim, and we hope, inshallah, that the world can hear us and act and stop Israel from what they are doing for Palestinians.
I mean, I was about to ask you that question because, and you were talking about propaganda. My doctoral dissertation looks into how different parts of the world, even governments, are using computational computer or technology to spread propaganda. And Israel is one of the best in its class in distorting the reality, in suppressing the global media. And it is so praiseworthy, and this is so uh, encouraging, even not only for Palestine, anywhere in the world where the mainstream media is not telling the truth. We can't rely on them because many scholars have talked about it, is that the mainstream media will talk in favor of Israel, in favor of the interest of the capital, interest of money. They're not going to talk about human rights. So it's very encouraging. And I saw one of the videos that, one of the videos that you have one segment that the young children, yeah, they talk about their realities. And the young girl, I think she's 10 years old, after a
Yes.
blockade happened. Could you tell about that children's report about to us?
Yeah, of course. Her name is Nadine. She's the youngest journalist in our group. Actually, Nadine was like, like a ordinary kid here, lived here in Gaza, lived here in Gaza. But whenever, if you know her story, you will get shocked, because you'll get shocked because always in the ministry media, they tell us, or they tell the people that we teach our children hatred, but in the same time our children learn hatred from the occupation. Nobody teach them that. And this thing actually happened with Nadine. Nadine just 10 years old, and like she told me that she has never watched news or know exactly what is happening here in Gaza because she's still young, and so she likes to play video games and practice. She likes to speak in English, so she just keep watching YouTube videos and this stuff. But when during the latest aggression on Gaza, actually this thing was like the first experience for her to witness such brutality. So that's why when she asked her father, "What is that?" and he told her that this is Israeli airstrike on the people of Gaza. So when her house, her neighbor's house, got destroyed, so she asked her father that she wants to go and to check up on her neighbors and to see exactly like how does it look like when the Israeli warplanes hit a house. And she got shocked actually for what she saw, because like this is the first time for her to see this destruction, this massive destruction. So many houses, so many homes of her neighbors got destroyed. So she cried and cried hardly. And one of the journalists at that time interviewed her and asked her, what you are doing here and why you are crying. She told him like, I am only 10. Why do I have to live such life? And I do have to live a peaceful life and this stuff. So she told, when I interviewed her at that time, she told me that I need really to speak for my people. I need really to, because she has a fluent English language. So she wants to use this talent in order to enlighten the world outside about Palestine, about the Palestinian children, because it's really so hard for Palestinian children here to speak in English language, and she has this fluency. So that's why. We helped her in order, and then we released a show only for her. The show called Palestinian Kids Talk, and it's only cover like the topics that shed the lights on the suffering of the Palestinian children, and in the same time the talents and the steadfastness of the Palestinian children. We released 2 episodes, and we are preparing at the moment for the third episode, and inshallah it's gonna be released very soon. Yeah, and this actually this is about Nadine and how she joined the 16th October group. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Wafa, I'm not very fluent in Arabic. I think somebody, what I think Ukti means sister. MashaAllah, Ukti Wafa. Um, so you can probably tell me what it means. Um, is this a question, Wafa? Okay. So we have a question from Shamsul Arifin. I like to know from Wafa, struggling woman journalist from Gaza for the occupied nation, what is the main gap between Hamas and Fatah unity? I mean, I'm not sure, maybe Intifada or Fatah unity. As the freedom of the humans being, we like to. Okay, so if I understood the question, that I know it is a very important question, is that even I grew up watching um, the Palestinian men. I'm not. They have they make incredible contributions and they made a lot of sacrifices. But Palestinian women have been part of the resistance for a very long time. Unfortunately, we don't see enough recognition. Um, we don't see enough acknowledgement from outside the world. Like, we don't know. You are the first Palestinian woman journalist I'm talking in my entire life. So please tell us about the contribution of Palestinian women in this resistance.
Yeah. Of course, you know that the Palestinian women are always in the front line. They just fight the occupation side by side with men. Yes, we are in the Middle East and we are so conservative, but this doesn't mean that we don't have to fight for our life. You know, because we have occupation, so they have to fight. So the thing is, I mean, the Palestinian women, you can find them that they are the mother and the sisters and the daughters of martyrs, and you can see them also martyrs. And so many women got murdered by the Israeli occupation fire. So many got jailed, and now we have 44 women inside the Israeli occupation jail, and in the past there were more than that. So you can find them everywhere, and they are the ones who raise the freedom fighters. They are the ones who who survive, or who help their fathers or their brothers to keep going in this life. So whenever you find like there is a peaceful protest, you can find them so obvious. I mean, their presence is so obvious in these peaceful protests, and actually they prove that without women, without Palestinian women, we can't achieve a freedom. So that's why we find them in everywhere, side by side with men, and fighting the occupation because it's their legal right to fight the occupation. And you know, like the ministry media are trying to show the Palestinian women as women stuck in their homes and do nothing, just raising terrorists, or I don't know what they are thinking. But the truth here is something different. I mean, the Palestinian women proves that they are the ones who contribute in the Palestinian struggle, and without the Palestinian women, no freedom can be achieved. So many got murdered, and in the past, actually, they participated in the armed resistance, not only the peaceful resistance. Like in the past, you know, Layla Khalid, you know, Dalal al Mughrabi, all of those figures, they participated in the armed resistance. And at the moment, like so many participate in the peaceful protest that you know, like every day we have peaceful protests, and you can see the women so clear in these protests. So the role of the women is so important, is so significant in the Palestinian struggle, and nobody can deny their role in this cause.
Thank you, Wafa. A very prominent development worker from Bangladesh has asked a question in regards to the status of women in Palestine at the moment. How do you see the contribution of the NGOs on the women empowerment? Do you feel their role has created alarming inequality between man and woman, being only focused on gender and development? So if I want to translate, in my way, is that obviously women's role is very important. There is no doubt about it. Unfortunately, and I want to say this unapologetically, Not in all Muslim communities in the world, we do not recognize the contributions of women adequately, sufficiently. We need to start thinking. We need to start understanding that how the role of women have been in our life. So, in terms of, a lot of the times the discussion gets about, oh, it's it's woman men women's inequality. How do you think the NGOs in Palestine are helping women to get empowered? Are they helping at all? I mean, maybe they are not. I mean, I want to understand from you.
Yeah. Actually, we have several NGOs organization that really work in enhancing the Palestinian women skills and help them. Like empower them in this society, but actually, like it's so difficult for them. I mean, to save or to protect the women from the occupation. And here I want actually to blame the international NGOs who always ask for the women rights, but nobody asks for Palestinian rights here in Palestine, because every single day the Palestinian women are subjected to the oppression, to the brutality, to being kidnapped, to being jailed, to being tortured by the occupation, and nobody at all from those NGOs who are just talking about the women rights. Nobody talks defend those women or even speak up for them. So this is really so important here. And here I want to say, or I want to send a message to from through your podcast here to the international organization who are calling for women rights. You have to look here in Palestine. We have so many women inside the Israeli occupation jails. They are subjected to brutality. They are subjected to torture, and they can't actually practice their life at all. You know that we have so many of them are patients. So many of them are mothers. Like we have 21 mothers, and they have never so or have. I mean, their children have never visited them inside the Israeli jails. So they are really suffer so much from the occupation. And I don't know whether you heard about Anhar Addik. She is one of the Palestinian detainees in the Israeli jails. She was held without a charge or even a trial, and she was pregnant she is pregnant in her 10th month so far. So and unfortunately, the occupation, they do not care about her. She was, when they jailed her, she was she was pregnant in her 4th month, but they torture her, and even they don't treat her very well. They don't provide her with the medicine, the needed medicine for her. But because she speak up and she sent a message from the Israeli jails to the people outside, for the Palestinians and the people outside Palestine, she sent a message that she is due to give birth to her second child in the Israeli jails, while she has, in the Israeli jails, they don't have the access to live or to raise her kid, or even to give birth in a safe condition. The free world actually, and we thank them so much for their campaigns. So many social media campaigns, so many Twitter storms were launched for Anhar, Save Anhar, and then because of the international pressure and the social media campaigns, actually it works. And Anhar now, yeah, she is under house arrest, of course, and she paid over than 40 shekels. but we can say that because she speak up and the world speak up for their rights, for her rights, that's why she is now free from the occupation jails. So that's why I'm asking these NGOs to help Palestinian women in living a stable life and living a peaceful life without occupation.
Thank you, Afa. That's a very important
Yes.
point. That Palestinian rights before, without distinguishing the woman's right. And I think it is safe to, and I think it is also way to portray that, oh, the Palestinian women's rights are being violated, and therefore, it's like to further um, make the image of Palestinians further smear, make the images of Palestinians bad, that, oh, they don't respect their women. So we have the international NGOs go there and rescue the Palestinian women. So that is a very, very important point that you have raised, Wafa. Thank you so much. One of the things I will connect this question to you is Shongita has asked this question that can Wafa reflect on the particular personal and professional challenges, dangers of being a woman journalist and activist? Obviously, the dangers are there for both men and women, but I'm sure there are dangers. I mean, could you tell us that, what are the risks or, threats that you feel as a woman activist, as a woman journalist in Palestine?
Yeah, of course. Of course, you know that the occupation forces actually they do not differentiate between women and men. So whenever they target the Palestinians, they do not they target them, no matter how they are or who they are, children, women, adults, or even men, or anything, or journalists, or anybody. So that's why we have so many of our colleagues who got really who got murdered by the occupation fire, and we have so many of them actually got jailed. So many got injured and they become disabled because of the Israeli fire. So it's really so risky, and I can't tell you it's not an easy task. And you are really, if you want to be a Palestinian journalist, this means that you are subjected to be killed in any moment, to be injured in any moment, or even jailed by the occupation. So it's so risky here under the occupation. And regarding the thing and regarding the conveying of our message outside Palestine, actually it's really so difficult because we you know that the Israeli propaganda, like they just occupy the hearts and the minds of the people, and even they occupy the media, and they distort the Palestinian image, and so on. So we find it so difficult here in order whenever we want to talk about our human interest stories, to tell the people about the Palestinian stories here from every house. We find it so difficult to release it in the international publications and outlets, because they just fear from the Israelis of being accused of anti-Semitic and this stuff. So they just try to use like so many wrong terms against Palestinians, and then they just use them in order to satisfy the occupation, in order to satisfy the Israeli lobby, and so on. So this is actually we suffer from this thing that so many terms are really wrong. Yeah, I mean, for example, whenever they say that Palestinian died, as if he died from nothing, and from not he is not massacring. Like so many of the people got massacred while they are in their homes by the Israeli occupation warplanes. But the thing here, they say in the media that Palestinian family died, and this is really very wrong. They really got massacred. They slaughtered, we can say. And then whenever they say conflict, and or war, this is really wrong, because whenever they say conflict or war, this means that we have two balanced power, we have two countries that fight each other. But the truth is really wrong here. We have Palestine. I mean, in 19 before 1948, we have Palestine, and then the Israeli, or at that time the Zionist militias, they came and entered, they invaded Palestine by the help of the British mandate at that time, and then they occupied the Palestinian homes, and they massacring them, and they did so many, like, they cleansed them ethnically actually. That's it. It's not a war. It's not a conflict. So this is one thing. Secondly, and also regarding the social media, as I said before, it's really so difficult for us as journalists. Like for me, I got lost like over than 10 or 20 accounts on Facebook, and so many on Twitter and other platforms. It's only because I just report. I don't really spread hatred or do not say anything. Just tell them that Palestinian family got massacred. Like tell them that there is a Palestinian house got damaged or got destroyed by the occupation warplanes, and then they just like disabled my accounts because I just report the truth. So this is another actually dilemma or another problem that we face as Palestinian journalists and activists whenever we want to talk about Palestine and to enlighten the world about what is happening here.
Absolutely, Wafa, because I've read reports, both academically, I mean, obviously there are literature about it, is that, under the name of their terms and condition, when you are saying things about the Israeli violence, then you are violating the platform policy of Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, and Al Jazeera has actually reported on it, that how Facebook is actually blocking, Twitter is blocking Palestinian journalists' account. And this is what, I mean, I have learned it coming here in Canada. I'm a Bangladeshi. I grew up in Bangladesh. I have been teaching for over 2 decades. I have taught in Bangladesh. Now I teach here. Um, and absolutely, the global network that we have on the Canada Bangladesh Social Justice Action Research Alliance, we want to work with you. We want to use our global network, because one of the things that I have learned coming to Canada from the indigenous people, building relationship offline. I mean, obviously, we are now online. In order to, what I mean to say is that to stay in touch with you, or when something happens, how many places can you block? Like if you, I know that in Bangladesh, hundreds of millions of people are in support of Palestinians. But I know that this very conversation you and I are having right now, the Facebook algorithm is blocking the spread of this conversation, because we are using the word Palestine and Israel. So, being a researcher in this field, I can tell you that it is possible and it is happening just right now. And I would not be surprised if I get blocked, because I know friends who have been blocked in that way. Question to you: when you are trying to spread Palestinian news, it is becoming so difficult. And then you have another person, Nas Daily, who is so popular in Facebook, who has millions and millions of followers. And he has been critiqued by many people for whitewashing Israeli violence in Palestine. He says, oh, it's a conflict. But you just said right now, and we know that it is not a conflict. It is an Israeli military occupation. It's not a conflict. So we know about it. Now, when Nas Daily, like Nas Daily, he's a Palestinian citizen of Israel. I mean, that gets tricky, right? So help us understand, Wafa, that how do you see someone like Nas Daily who is presenting to the world before in front of people that, oh, it's a conflict. How do we understand it? What do you have to say to people like Nas Daily?
Yeah, actually, this is really so disappointed because, like, he is Palestinian, but he lives all his entire life under the Israeli occupation. Law and power. So I'm sure they brained his watch. He washed his brain. So yeah, this is really so annoying, and we feel so frustrated from such people. But in the same time, we can't say that we have so many less daily. Actually, or Nasir, we don't have so many of him because Palestinians here, even those who are inside Israel right now, they know about the truth. No matter, I mean, the Israeli occupation authorities, they are trying to change the Palestinian curriculum in order to convince the new generation that there is something called Israel, and it is the home of the Jews, and this stuff. But this doesn't work, and we have the new generation. Actually, they know about this thing, and they can't change their minds because nobody can change the truth. I mean, if even the occupation, if it lasts for so long, it will end at the end, of course, because the injustice never lasts forever, and very soon we are gonna have our freedom from the occupation, and the whole world will know about Palestine. I mean, like these days we see like so many. I mean, in the past we never we see. In the media, so many Americans or so many of Westerns, they don't know about Palestine. But regarding, I mean, A.P. Martin and another journalist, so many journalists, so many international journalists or American journalists, when they came here to Palestine, actually, they discover the truth. I mean, A.B. Martin, when she visited the West Bank a couple of years ago, she said in the media that she got shocked from what she saw because she has never seen this in the media, and this is really so bad. And then she speak up for Palestinians, and started to show the world exactly what she saw and what she witnessed from the occupation. And this is really so important. I mean, I just invite all of the activists, all of the journalists across the world to come to Palestine and they see that by themselves. They don't have to follow the mainstream media to know about Palestine. Come to Palestine and see by yourself how the occupation deal with our people, how the occupation treat the children. You know that there are minors inside the Israeli occupation jails. We have a kid 12 years old. He is in Israeli jails. This is really so bad, and the media will never report about this. So come here and see and listen to the Palestinians themselves. Listen to their stories. Don't follow the media. I mean, whatever because the social media administrations and the Facebook administration, they know that the media or the activists change a little bit in the Palestinian or in they change a little bit the perspective of. I mean, like the people outside Palestine, they do understand that they understand that the Palestinian people are terrorists and this stuff. But now they don't have this image because of the social media posts. Because we have so many international activists who work with Palestinians activists here. So those activists, those international activists, actually help in disproving the Israeli lies, in refuting the Israeli lies, actually. So this helped us so much in teaching the people outside. And now we have, like, not all of the people outside understand, but we have some who could act and who could put pressure on their government to stop arming the Israeli forces. And this is really important, and this is really good, because we have to keep reports about Palestine and use the social media, the different or the several the different social media platforms in order to show the world exactly what is happening.
So when I say Nas Daily, I mean, I was very, and obviously, the Wonder Woman of Hollywood, Gal Gadot. When Gal Gadot, when the military, I'm going to read Gal Gadot's statement. So the Gal Gadot, whole Bangladeshi audience, if somebody doesn't know, I'm sure that Wonder Woman, the lady who did the Wonder Woman. Obviously, she millions and hundreds and millions of people know her, right? As she used to be in Israel military. This is what she wrote on Twitter: that my heart breaks. My country is at war. When she says my country, means Israel. I worry for my family, my friends. I worry for my people. This is a vicious cycle that has been going on for far too long. Israel deserves to live as a free and safe nation. Now, the last line says, our neighbors deserve the same. I pray for the victims and their families. I pray for this unimaginable hostility to end. I pray for our leaders to find the solution so we could live side by side in peace. I pray for better days. The problem with this statement I find is that few hundred million people knows Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot is, she is a Hollywood actor, but when she portrays the picture that Israel is at war, this is what, and this is what actually, and I was wondering, what do you think about raising our children? How do we educate them? Not all people in all parts of the world who are Jews are against Palestinians. You have notable people who have been, I have friends in Canada who are Jews but who are speaking for Palestinians. Now, Wafa, help us understand that. How do we strike a balance when you have strong voices like Rashida Tlaib in the United States, a Palestinian American who is raising the voice for the rights of Palestinians? We know uh, American representatives like Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, the squad. They are talking about the Palestinian rights. Even Bernie Sanders was probably one of the first candidates who openly critiqued Israel. That critiquing Israel is not becoming an anti-Semitic. When Jeremy Corbyn critiqued Israel, he was called anti-Semitic. Now, help us, because Bangladesh, now this is where it's tricky. When you have the king of Saudi Arabia signing treaty, shaking hands with Netanyahu, like, oh, it's okay. It's their matter. They're Muslims. King Salman, he murdered somebody, Jamal Khashoggi, in Turkey, and it is well documented, and all you have that. You see the Muslim leaders are shaking hands with Israel and turning a blind eye to Palestine. But then you have people who are not Muslims. A lot of them are Jews. They're working for, they're saying things for Palestinians. Now, not all Jews are bad, and not all Jews are, we cannot put all Jews. Jews are not essentially, being Israeli and being, anti-Palestinian are very different. So help us. How can we strike a balance so that we don't start hating Muslims? I'm a Bengali Muslim. I don't want to, I want our children to hate all Jews. That Jews are bad. At the same time, also critiquing those Muslims who are shaking hands with Israeli leaders and turning a blind eye to Palestine. Can you please shed light on that?
Yeah, of course. Thanks for this. Actually, yeah, I don't know. Maybe you will get shocked if I tell you that most or 90% of my international friends are not Muslims, and they support us. They fully support us, and fully support our rights here in Palestine. Like I have like so many Jews friends, so many Christians friends, so many international friends, but they are not Muslims actually. But like it's not about religion. It's about humanity. It's all about humanity here. I mean, the Israeli occupation, we are not against Jews, we are not against any of the religion, we are against the occupation itself. So we have Jews in US, we have Jews in everywhere, but we don't fight them. We don't fight outside Palestine. We only fight here in Palestine because we have occupation. We fight the occupation. So we love all of the people around the world. I mean, even our religion, our Islam. Also, they don't teach us to hate people, to hate any of the religion. They told us to respect every religion, every person. I mean, our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, his neighbor was a Jew, and he was really so good with him, and they were good. So, but this Jews was not occupiers. I mean, what was not occupiers. So that's why our Prophet didn't like fight the occupant of him or stuff. So it's not about being Muslims or Jews or anything. It's about the occupation, and we have to help the people to live in a peaceful life, in a decent life here in Palestine without occupation. And for those who normalize with Israel, actually, I have no words for them because they always disappoint us. They always do for their favor. And I mean, it's all about money. It's all about politics, them in politics. So it's really so bad to see our own people that they have to be side by side with us. They put their hands in our enemy hand, and this is really disappointed. But we can say like our message here is like to the people outside. Uh, so I mean our message to the people outside. I do want to tell them this, that it's all about the human beings here, and they are subjected to brutality from the occupation, from degradation, from suppression, from racism by the occupation. So nobody like to see their children to live such life. For example, I myself, like I have three children, but I have never tell them to hate people. I always tell them to love their country, to resist anything that may destroy their country, and to love the people, to love the country, to love their like their neighbors and everything, but not to normalize with the occupation, not to be peaceful. I mean, sorry, not peaceful. Not to be. They have to defend their rights. Okay, because I mean, resisting the occupation, it's totally legal, and we have the whole right to resist the occupation. So we have to raise our children on how to love the people and how to defend their country and how to follow well, their religion and how to follow the. I mean, so many great things in our Islam about dealing with other people. But they have to follow the real Islam, not the distorted Islam. Yeah.
I'm not surprised at all, Wafa, when you said that, you have a lot of friends who are international friends, non-Muslim friends, Christian friends, um, and this is what I try to get. I worked 2 years in Saudi Arabia as a teacher, as a guidance counselor. I have seen Saudi Arabia myself. I don't have to. I don't have to read something to know it. So it's this: is that Saudi Arabia is spending billions of dollars buying weapon from United States of America and dropping the bomb on the helpless, hungry Yemenis. Yemenis are Muslims, and you said it beautifully. It's about money. It's about money. It's in all the kind of. Again, we know that it's very easy to sell all kinds of conspiracy theory. Roger Fowler has asked you a question: what are the best ways for overseas supporters to build international solidarity for Palestinian struggle? That's one. And another, Shamsul Arifin from Bangladesh is asking similar question, that what can we do for people of Palestinians through NGO? Basically, let's say Bangladesh is a Muslim majority country. More than 90% people in Bangladesh are Muslim. And obviously, you have a overwhelming support for Palestinians. So in terms of education, NGOs, what can we do internationally to build solidarity with the Palestinians? Could you please tell that? Help us understand.
Yeah, actually, like I told you about Anharidik story, and this is really a very important example that we should shed the lights on. I mean, without the international pressure on Anhar cause, she will not be freed from the occupation jails. So I mean, the international support is really so important, and really, without their voices, without their support, we cannot convey the message outside Palestine. I mean, here in Palestine, we could tell so many stories about the people. We could tell them about the violations of the occupation against the people of Palestine, but we cannot convey it to the outside world because of the Israeli manipulating or the Israeli control of the media outside. So we depend on them, we rely on them to help us in conveying this message. Like whenever they see Palestinian journalists or activists, they have to share their posts. They have to support them. To take I mean, we can just provide pictures and videos here from Palestine, and they can just share it easily on their publications and their social media platforms in order to enlighten the people outside about the Palestinian people. I mean, I do. So many people like underestimate their efforts because they say that like sharing a post it means nothing for me. Nobody will see it. I don't have many friends, but they didn't have to underestimate their efforts because every single effort is so important. Look for example, so many of the issues no one knows about them until the social media activists talk about this or shed the lights on these topics. I mean, like so many things that we have to cover here in Palestine, and the ministry media never talk about it. So you have to help us as Palestinian activists and journalists in conveying the message in releasing our messages outside. I mean, they have to help us in reaching the people outside, to tell them exactly they don't have to support Israel. They have to put pressure on their governments, because the Western governments are considered like the lifeline for Israel. They just aid them with advanced weapons, while Palestinians in the past they only have stones only to defend themselves. In the past they only have stones and knives to defend themselves. But by the time they actually with their simple materials, they just made like homemade rockets. We can't compare it at all with the weapons that Israel use. They have, I mean, they have to tell their people about exactly what Israel is doing for Palestinian people, and how they kill children, how they jail children, how they oppress the people of Palestine. Because I'm sure, whenever they know, nobody like to see the people are oppressed by their money, of course. So they have to speak up in order to stop their government from aiding advanced from arming Israel, and aid it with advanced weapon to kill Palestinians and oppress them more and more.
That is, you have, this is so critical. And this is what I feel, and this is what I will look forward to collaborating with you and many other journalists and activists in Palestine, is that I feel that being located in a Western country, being part of a very Western network, like the European countries, the English speaking countries, that the way, I mean, I'll tell you that, my student from, he was my student back in Bangladesh. Now he's in UK. He was listening to our conversation, and is it not genocide? Absolutely, this is a genocide, what is happening in Palestine. Um, Obviously, I think we need to collaborate a lot more. We need to find out alternative ways. We need to find out how people can use their skills to um, contribute in amplifying the voice of. I mean, I particularly feel it very problematic when, if from the West somebody says, oh, they don't have the voice. Of course they have voices. Are we listening to their voices? That's the question. A very current question to you from Mahmoud is, what about the electricity in Gaza Strip? Is there any alternative for the source of electricity? And please describe shortly about the COVID-19 situation in Gaza.
Yes, yeah, of course, the electricity. I don't know, but I think we used to such condition. We only have sometimes 3 hours a day of electricity, and other times we have 4 hours. Other time we have only 6 hours, but not more than that. So we used to such we have a schedule actually for the electricity. So maybe like after like a few minutes, it's gonna be cut off. So pardon me if there is any cut in any moment. And yeah, like the occupation warplanes, actually they targeted the only solar plant in Gaza in 2008. They destroyed it partly, and they do not help in. I mean, they do not not allow the material that help the electricity, the only power plant in Gaza to work full. So they need actually machines and the stuff in order to work full like 24 hours. But they only have 3 generators out of 6, I think, generators. So that's why we don't have the electricity all the time, and it's really so bad because our life, just to stop whenever we don't have electricity. I'm sure that you experience this thing. Like the electricity is so essential in our life, so we have to to recognize that this. So it's really, I mean, also I think is a question about COVID-19. Yeah, of course. Like other parts of the world, here in Gaza, we have several cases. We have like thousands of cases. So many died here in Gaza due to their COVID-19, and like because the Israel imposed land, air, and sea siege on Gaza, so. So actually, this affects all the sectors here in Gaza, including the health sector. That is, we can say the health sector is on the brink of collapse because we have lack of medicine. We don't have enough hospitals. There are so many missing medicine from like the pharmacies. So this is really we can say it's on the brink of collapse indeed. So with COVID-19 here in Gaza, actually this exacerbates the condition more and more. So this is really so terrible. I mean, the Ministry of Health here are trying so hard in order to help not to help the people. I mean, not to get collapsed and keep serving the people of Gaza. So. Yeah, I hope that I answered the question. I forgot the third question. Yeah.
And before I forget, Wafa, I just wanted to say that, from India, journalists are watching. I need to ask you a few questions, ending the conversation. Dear audience, as I said, this is the first conversation I'm having with Wafa. We will have many more future conversations depending on Wafa's availability. I did really have to ask some questions to Wafa before the electricity goes. Thank you very much for being with us. Wafa, can you please stay for a minute?
Sorry.
Can you please stay for a minute? One
Yeah,
minute.
sure.
I'll just, yeah,
Sure,
thank
sure,
you.
yeah, sure.